it's not just one or two. We have multiple people now detained by ICE, held in detention facilities, a lot of times outside their home where they live, and they're being threatened to be deported. So how strong is the government's case against these individuals? They say they're exercising their freedom of speech. The administration calls them Hamas supporters.
Right. Good afternoon. Yes. And this is what the problem is. You know, the cornerstone of our Constitution is, in fact, freedom of speech, freedom of association, and these students have been detained on allegations of their support and for basically exercising their freedom of speech. So what we have here is that the administration is going as far as detaining these individuals and preventing them from exercising the constitutional right. So it is true that these individuals are here as either on student visas or are lawful permanent residents, but they still enjoy these freedoms of our Constitution. We are talking about the cornerstone of what our country was founded on. So this is really concerning.
So, Annaluisa, can the Trump administration continue to detain individuals, students, and academics who may have an opposing viewpoint from this administration? What laws have they broken?
So here's the thing. We know U.S. citizens enjoy all the rights of the Constitution. Lawful permanent residents and individuals in the United States do as well, but with limitations. And the limitations is immigration law. So if the government is going to institute deportation proceedings for these individuals, they have to follow the law, the immigration law. We're talking about the rule of law. So there's a procedure for that. The administration needs to file allegations and charges against these individuals, and it needs to follow the process. It needs to be before a judge who will determine what evidence the government has in order to institute the deportation proceedings on these individuals and how to strip them from their status, whether that is a visa or lawful permanent residence. Now, lawful permanent residents would enjoy higher, more rights than somebody who's here on a visa, but there is a process for doing this, and that's what the government needs to do.
So in the case of this Iranian national, Ali Reza Daroudi from University of Alabama, no reason was given, no charges have been filed. We know absolutely nothing in his case.
Right, and this is what we need to question, and this is what is going to be resolved in the courts, because that is what needs to happen. If the government is intending of removing an individual who is lawfully in this country pursuant to an admission, has been vetted, this individual applied for a visa, was admitted, the government has vetted them, and now they want to revoke that status, they need to follow the procedure that the government itself has established. And so this will be determined in the court of law.
And the administration has threatened to also deport Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil. At first they said he was a threat to U.S. security. Now they say Khalil's deportation is justified because he did not reveal connections to two organizations, including UN's UNRWA. And UNRWA says he used to be an intern there. He also worked for the Syria office of the British Embassy in Beirut. And they say because of that, the deportation would be justified. Annaluisa, I guess my question to you is, can they actually revoke Mahmoud Khalil's green card?
So again, there is a process for that, and the government initially had not specified the reasoning behind his arrest. Now they have determined what the allegations are, what the charges will be, and a court of law needs to determine and evaluate the evidence that the government has, and the individual has to have the opportunity to defend and present counter arguments to the evidence presented.
But are they doing that, Annaluisa? Are they doing that? Are they following the legal process or the procedure, as you say?
That is the problem, and that is the bigger issue at hand here with what this administration is doing. Because if we are talking about the rule of law, it is not only individuals who need to follow the rule of law, but our government needs to follow our rule of law. That's why we have the Constitution. That's why we have laws. And so it is up to the attorneys, it is up to the courts to really ensure that this government is following what we stand for. I mean, what country are we becoming if we are not continuing to be the corner of that democracy, the cornerstone of who we are as a country?
All right. An important conversation there. Annaluisa Padilla, thank you very much.
A pleasure.